Our show today is brought to you by the Center for Family Health. They have all 4 of their school health centers open at Parkside, Jackson High, Northwest, and at Northeast. The center has been opening the door to healthcare for all for more than 30 years. Our show today also brought to you by Aggie's Sports Bar. If you're looking for a great bite, check out Aggie's Sports Bar in downtown Napoleon. This beloved restaurant not only has premier food and service, but also awesome activities such as Monday night cornhole, trivia on Wednesdays, and live music on the weekends. Enjoy your next meal inside or outside on the patio at Aggie's, a Napoleon tradition.
It's time for this month's American One Credit Union Fraud Fighters and Financial Wellness segment. We welcome from American One Credit Union, Angela Hadley and Collin Martin. Welcome. Welcome
Hello.
back.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I just saw Collin last week at the Big Brothers Big Sisters 70s night.
There he is right there.
Yeah, you guys had a table or
All
something?
dressed up.
Yep, we did.
Wow.
We had a blast. It was a great event.
You've kind of got like maybe a Don Johnson type deal.
I can
going.
see it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I said, I did the best I could.
It looks like you should have had maybe one more button.
Well, let me ask you, what year is that dress shirt and jeans from? You know, those are
Well, they are more recent.
yeah, they are more
They
recent.
were definitely not authentic from the 70s, but
That's not bad.
yeah.
Joe Hines looking good, of course, as always.
Well, you demonstrated financial smarts by not spending a lot of money on an outfit.
There you
Yes,
go.
thank you.
Good
Yeah.
tie-in. Good tie-in.
Yeah.
So people, they're looking for people to hire, they're looking for jobs, and I understand that that's another area where people can get scammed.
Mm-hmm.
What are examples of job scams?
Yeah, you're right. You know, it's definitely that's the world we live in today. Everybody's looking for a job that they can work from home during the pandemic and after the pandemic. I think people really started to shift and look at their lifestyle. What's going to fit in for me? Where do I want to work? How do I want to work? And of course, fraudsters see that as that kind of golden ticket to weasel their way in. So they go online, they use the social media platforms, and oftentimes this looks like they'll say, hey, you're going to work from home and we're going to send you a check for supplies. You got to buy your supplies, your laptop, all that good stuff. When you do that, that check is not good, but you don't realize it. So you go and buy those supplies, and then they say, oh, we accidentally overpaid you. You need to send some of that money back. So when the check gets returned, you're out money you thought you were getting plus what you ended up sending back to them. So it puts you in a really bad spot.
Can you make $6,000 a month playing Bingo Frenzy on your phone?
Very good question. So that's another red flag to look out for, right? When your amount doesn't match what you're doing, right? Simple data entry at home for 40 hours, a week isn't probably going to pay $50 an hour. So things like that are, hey, maybe this is a red flag or an indicator that this isn't a legitimate offer.
I've always wondered, you remember those signs on like telephone poles near colleges that said painters, college painters? Do you remember those?
I do, yeah. And
That has to be a scam, right?
I think there is some legitimacy there. Again, like you said, I think they're recruiting college-age kids, that kind of thing. I haven't looked too much into it, so I can't speak to the authenticity too much. But
you have to look into everything, research the companies.
Exactly. That's the thing is, with certain, there are professional networking sites where, there is the ability to obtain a legitimate job, of course. But you just have to make sure you're doing your due diligence, looking into the company. Who is it you're speaking with? Do they actually work for the company? Think about it. And like I said, step back. If it doesn't make sense, give yourself that pause.
Like LinkedIn, places where people are well known, the JTV job board.
That's a safe space for sure.
Yeah, and those places do, things to vet who's posting, right? The companies that post on there, so you can feel a little bit better, but you still always want to make sure you're doing your own, behind the scenes work.
You guys have an event. Can share a little bit more about this. You're partnering with the Chamber, correct?
Yeah, we're so excited.
Very
Yep. So November 13th from 11:30 is when registration begins, goes till 1 o'clock. We're doing an economic luncheon, and we're doing exactly what we're doing here, bringing information to our community about fraud and scams, how to protect yourself. We're going to talk about business email compromise, embezzlement, things that impact, small businesses right here in our area, that if they were to fall victim, it really can make the difference between their make or break it for their business, right? So we are so excited for this opportunity. We're bringing in some other speakers. We've got someone from Michigan State Police, one of the Michigan Attorney Generals, and someone from Wellwise Area Agency on Aging. So we're really bringing in experts from, this space.
In the same vein of job scams, if people are changing jobs, there are some things to take into consideration.
Yeah, definitely. So when you're looking for a new job, everyone looks at, the salary. But there's a lot more encompassing your job than just your salary. If you look at the full benefits package, like your 401k, your health, your dental, your vision, what all that covers, when you're looking for a new job, you can really compare what you have apples to apples with the new job to see, with all those benefits, am I really going to be making more? Like for instance, some companies will pay for your whole benefits package, so you don't have to pay for that out of pocket. But then when you go to change jobs, you may take, a $5 more pay raise an hour, but then you're paying for the benefits yourself, which can correlate to $200 to $300 more per week that you have to pay for those benefits. So you may actually be taking a step back as opposed to progressing in that aspect.
And you should definitely research the companies. What type of things should we be looking for during that research?
Yeah, so I like to recommend people look at like reviews, right? So if you're looking for a new career, it's a lot easier to look for a new career when you have one currently. But then you can also, again, compare what you like about your job versus, what this new job has to offer. And again, you're looking at the legitimacy of it. You're looking at Glassdoor to see ratings and reviews of the company and like their atmosphere, how their corporation runs, right? So you're trying to look out for those scams, and you're trying to see the legitimacy of the new company you're researching.
Should people quit working at their job so they can devote time to finding their new job, or should they hang on to what they got?
Yeah, so it's a lot easier to look for a job when you have a job, because at that point you can be kind of more picky with what you're looking for. You can really do your research, and you do not have to accept every job offer that comes in. So when you're looking for a new job and you have a job, you can pick and choose what you want, and then you're more desired because you don't need the job, right? You're not in a predicament where you're out of income and you're struggling because you don't have a job, so you need to find a job quickly. You can really take your time, and you might not like your job, but you can stick it out for a little bit longer just to make sure you're transitioning into a new career that's really going to set you up for success long term.
What about recruiting? I know you both obviously work in an industry that is heavily recruited regionally, nationally. What type of insight do you give people before they get those calls? And then, I mean, if you get those calls yourself, what type of reaction do you get?
Yeah, so I think it again comes down to doing that research, making sure that the person that you're talking to, to your point, on LinkedIn, you always get those messages. Hey, I'm a recruiter. Looks like we're looking for a risk manager, that kind of thing. So for me, I'm very happy where I'm at. But if somebody wasn't, just making sure that you look at their profile. Does it seem like a legitimate profile? Again, go back to who do they work for, contacting the company directly, and just making sure that everything's on the up and up.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing your expertise with us here today.
Yeah,
of course.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you both.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Try to get Jacksville, maybe.
Yeah, Jacksville.
Oh, we'll be there.
Yeah.
We
Sure
will
will.
be there.
Angela Hadley is Risk and Compliance Manager at American One Credit Union, along with Collin Martin, Financial Wellness Manager. The morning show continues after this.